Welcome to this overview of Aggregate Billing. Aggregate billing combines the meter readings from multiple machines or assets that use the same meter type under a contract. This means that the total usage across multiple items of the same meter type is billed as a single combined charge on the invoice. Aggregate billing cannot be used for contracts where the customer is managed as a consolidated entity. On the Add a New Contract screen, tick the Aggregate Billing checkbox in the Contract Info tab. This moves the Aggregate tab from its position on the left to the bottom of the screen. Next, navigate to the Items data grid, where assets and locations are linked to the contract. In the expanded subgrid of a machine, click on the Item Meters tab. Tick the marked checkbox for the relevant meter type, then enter the start reading and reading date. Repeat this process for every machine in the contract with that meter type. This ensures all selected meters of the same type are set up consistently and included in the aggregate total. For example, if billing monometers in aggregate, tick the Mark checkbox for each monometer across all contract items and enter the start reading and reading date. If a combination of aggregate and standard meter billing is required, one meter type can be set to aggregate, while another is set to standard. Once you have set up the item meters for all relevant machines and meter types, proceed to the Aggregate tab to enter the billing fees and meter charges. To begin, tick the marked checkbox for the applicable fee type, then enter the charge amount. Enter tax details as required. If left blank, the billing info tax details will be used. Enter the account code and cost of sales account code if they are not already populated. Review and update the invoice description to accurately describe the fee. Also, check and adjust the start date, end date, billing, and escalation settings as needed. Tick the Suppress on Invoice checkbox to hide the aggregate fee information on the invoice, otherwise leave it blank. Enter a relevant comment and order number. If a different customer will be responsible for the aggregate fees, select that customer in the Customer Code field. Use this option only when another party is paying the fees on behalf of the contract's primary customer. If these fields are left blank, the fees will automatically be billed to the contract customer. Enter a supplier code for a back-to-back deal with a third-party supplier. This links the supplier to back-to-back rental transactions, where the finance house invoices your company and your company invoices the client. Enter the relevant finance amount. Zero-value fees can be used for third-party transactions where the client is not billed. Add additional aggregate fees as needed. Navigate to the Aggregate Meters grid. Tick the Mark checkbox for each meter type, for example, monometers, selected in the Item Meters tab, then enter the aggregate details for that meter type. For minimum billing, enter the minimum billing amount and the minimum quantity. These represent the fixed minimum charge and the number of included copies for this meter type. If the actual usage is less than the minimum quantity, the customer is still billed for the full minimum amount. If minimum billing does not apply for this meter type, leave both fields set to 0. The account code, cost of sales account code, and escalation settings are pre-populated and can be adjusted if needed. Enter the billing customer, supplier finance details, and order number as required. To add aggregate charges, right-click on the meter row and select Add a Level. Add more levels as needed to create tiered charging, assigning a unit charge, entered as a fractional value in your main currency for each level. Typically, the unit charge increases with each level. If minimum billing is set, the customer pays a fixed charge covering usage up to the specified minimum quantity. Unit charges only apply when usage exceeds the minimum quantity. For example, if the minimum charge covers the first 1,000 copies, unit charges start from copy 1,001 onward. If minimum billing is not set, each copy is billed at the unit charge for its level, starting from the very first copy. The From Quantity field specifies where each unit charge level starts. By default, the From quantity for the first level is set to 0, so billing for the first level begins with copy 1 and continues until the next level starts. For each new level, set the From quantity to 1 less than the first copy that should be billed at that level. For example, if a level is intended to start at copy 3501, enter 3500. This setup ensures that each unit charge begins at the correct copy count with no overlap or gaps in billing. To remove a level, right-click on the row and select Delete the charge. Enter a finance amount only if a third-party supplier is involved in back-to-back financing of the charges. When all aggregate fees and meter charges are configured, save the contract to apply the settings. Businesses make better decisions with CO3 Nucleus.